Steele Wars micro chat. And over the next, who knows how long, this is the first one we've done. But 20, 30 minutes, we'll go through the day's news, take a few calls, which if you want to participate, or if you just want to ring up and listen, you can put this number in your phone, and if you're ever driving or whatever, you can just ring up and listen to me talk. But the number is 646-668-8360. You can also, of course, watch live or on delay on YouTube. And if you're a Steele Wars, a Patreon member, you will have this delivered to your podcast feed. And I believe I just made a little picture appear in the top window to promote this just from $1 a month, and you can keep going. And I hope that is up there. It is. I just checked the thing. I am looking at myself on YouTube, and I look like a red Oompa Loompa right now, which is good. And I just realized I hadn't been putting on the Blog Talk audio. So there you go, Blog Talk. You can now hear me. Thank you, Don Legaspi of San Francisco, for your continued support, and let me know with that. And I'm checking out the chat. Rebecca O'Hanlon wants to know what this is. It's a little test if we can do an almost daily news show. But let's talk about some stories, you guys. This will be very exciting to see if I can get the pictures to come up. Probably the coolest thing that came up today on StarWars.com was an excerpt from the Han Solo novel, Solo: A Star Wars Story, you guys. And best of all, they also included the 9-minute audio version of that. So I would highly check that out. And I don't know, it is interesting timing to have this come out now. I guess, you bring out the DVD and stuff, but I don't know, to bring it out so far after the film, you're going to want some chunky deleted scenes added in. And this 9-minute scene, which is Han he's not explaining, it's how Han gets demoted from flight duty in the Empire. It's pretty good. So if they can bust out a few more of those sort of deleted scenes to add some context, some little bonus stuff, then I think fans will appreciate that. After the show is done, I will have the show notes. There'll be links to all this stuff, so you can check it out immediately. That's how it's how organized we're going to be. I should point out that if you are on hold on Blog Talk Radio and you'd like to chat, just hit 1 when we hit a topic that you want to chat about, and I will bring you in. But yeah, check that out. It's a good 9-minute listen. I'm more of an audiobook person than reading, because I just can't. Just to sit on the couch over there and read, I don't know how much I'm achieving. Do you know what I mean? So I can drive, listen to a book, do dishes, that sort of stuff. Get content ready for you guys. So there we go. There's been a lot of talk around on Twitter that I've seen about Dave Filoni. He is not going to be as involved with Star Wars Resistance than people first assumed, that he's going to be focusing a lot of his attention on the Clone Wars revival for the Disney Direct streaming service, something like that. It will end up getting called Disney Direct. And people seem to be really annoyed that he's like going to be more on Clone Wars, and it's quite interesting. But IGN, which I'll get this graphic up here, they posted up an interview with the man Dave Filoni, and they there's three main points, you guys, to get through. They are. So with Clone Wars, are you starting at square one with this new season that was just announced rather than using existing material that was already laid out from its previous development, or is it a mixture of both? He says, without getting into detail, because I love fan speculation, but it would be a real shame to have done all this work and not use it. So we're looking at everything and going over those scripts we had. I think the biggest thing for me now is how do we make this show better? And I think that means examining all the work we had done, the work we were planning on doing, and also trying to honor the work of so many people that are in the middle of making stuff. Like Kyle Newman on our solo reaction show, which you can watch on YouTube, revealed that Aura Singh, which is played by his wife Jamie King, gets killed in if the Clone Wars had continued on its original path. So I don't know if Beckett can come and do some pushing and make it all loop up. Otherwise, that will be bailed. And I want to make sure that some of the things we were doing come to light. So it's exciting. It's a great opportunity, but my main focus is how do we do this the best we can to give this great story the new and exciting episodes that it needs for Corey, which is what he didn't say that bit, which was what we did every season on Clone Wars. How do we make the next season better? I know one season someone just said, let's just ditch the shark people. That's how we'll make it better. And it was. So thank you for whoever suggested that. So the focus is on getting better than before, and absolutely I'm looking at stuff we haven't used. Some of the fans already know because even though the trailers are, it's 4 shots really, and there's a lot in those 4 shots that I put in there specifically for people to decrypt over the next however long this thing, until this thing comes out. How's it? He won't even say how long we've got to decrypt the mysterious clues. That's how mysterious this dude is. He must have changed t-shirts like 7 times during this interview. And they will, and they will. They've probably done it already. Of course they have. But it's all part of the fun in digging deep on clips and seeing what's there. That is so true, Dave Filoni. So then he speaks on resistance. And I'm glad even people, just someone that's not even going to be that involved is speaking on resistance at this point, because we're not hearing much. We are not hearing much at all. So right now, resistance is a bit different in that I'm not on the day-to-day. I created and set it in motion, but I've given that to other people to raise up, people that I've worked with a long time who I think deserve the opportunity to tell stories, and I think it's exciting, and I give them my thoughts and notes. I was just doing that this morning, like George would give me. So that's fun. That's cool. That is cool. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah, I think that's really sweet. And then obviously with Clone Wars, I'm very in the weeds on that and will have to be, because I myself, and this is why, this is the chunk which, if you are upset that Dave Filoni is not involved in Resistance, why he would be better served to be in the world he knows so well in the Clone Wars. I'm very much in the weeds on that and will have to be, because I myself have had to go back and watch a whole bunch of stuff that I had done. Dave Filoni, he's just like us, going back and watching the Clone Wars. It's amazing. And I went back and watched Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones in depth again. Like, I have to upload this whole timeline, just the intricacy of how the clones got made and where Dooku was and all those things were, and that I was just doing from memory at the time because I was in it. Then I switched time periods and went on and did Star Wars Rebels. So to go back into Clone Wars, I have to remember, wait, where was everybody? How does that work? And I had charts and figured out all this stuff, but I've got to upload that chip now. So I'm good. Oh no, he's uploaded the chip now. So he's good. Is this Dave Filoni or Neo? Does he wear that cowboy hat all the time to hide where you get plugged in at Lucasfilm or ILM? I hope so. I hope so. Because that would be an exciting bit of technology that ILM has developed. If you want to call in, give us a call on 646-668-8360 and press 1 if you want to chat. Now I like Dave Filoni. He's a great Star Wars mind. My one bugbear with the guy, or my main bugbear, because you're a Star Wars nerd, you know, I've already gone on about the sharks. There was the time in Rebels where, how did Chopper get in that A-Wing? Was it an A-Wing? Yeah. How did he get in it? How did he get in? Doesn't make sense, that episode. Anyway, this is my biggest bugbear, and I wish you'd react to this a little bit differently. You threaded the needle on the fan theory that Rex turned up in Return of the Jedi, Rex being one of the clones, and there's like a rebel trooper that's in the background that's got a beard and he's a bit tanned. So he's been pegged as Maori Tamira Morrison. But anyway, I just added that bit in. I'll go back to the start of the question to keep it clear. You threaded the needle on the fan theory that Rex turned up in Return of the Jedi. Was that part of your master plan all along? Or did you pick that up on a fan theory and say that'd be fun to incorporate that? And he wrote, or said, it's one of those things that gets brought to your attention by other people at work. And they're like, hey, people are saying this. So I'm like, oh, that's fascinating. Haven't really thought about that. That's weird. But on some of these things, it's like you're taking a character that had existed prior to my coming along as part of the Rebel Commando unit, and I didn't want to lay it down in stone one way or the other. If that is Rex, is that not Rex? For some people, it's fun to believe it is Rex, and for some people that don't want to believe it's Rex, I'm fine either way with that. And I think I left it in a state where you could believe one way or the other. Maybe I'm too diplomatic that way, but I don't know. It's not important to my story that Rex be that guy. Rex could fight the battle at the end of Endor and not be that guy. He could be somewhere else in the Battle of Endor. So maybe that's cheating and maybe that's being complicit. I don't know, but I think it's fun. Can't you just bring up that some people don't want it because they're a completely different nationality? I don't know. If what's that all about? Let's check the chat room, and I'm not sure if people are on hold, but I'm not sure if they want to talk. It's either 1 or 0, guys, and there should be a little thing that lights up, but I'm not sure if... here we go. Someone has lit it up. It is 512. Who are you, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Jeff. I'm from San Francisco.
Hey, who is it? Justin?
Jeff.
Jess, how you doing?
Good.
What's on your mind?
Well, I was just listening to you talk about Dave Filoni. Actually, I'm actually it's okay that he's stepping away from Resistance, maybe, in my opinion, because then it gives other people a chance to tell some stories, maybe just Dave Filoni. Not that I don't like Dave Filoni stories, but maybe it's other people get a chance.
Yeah, I agree. Get more influences in there, and especially if it means we're getting 2 different cartoon series. Although I don't know. I'm hearing weird things about this Resistance thing, about where it's targeted. So I'm going in very low expectations, which is good, because then you can only go up.
Maybe they want you to have low expectations.
They don't want me to have any expectations. all they want me to expect is a title card with a bit of BB-8 and a cool-looking ship that looks like it got someone went to Naboo and stole a sweet spaceship. But yeah, very confusing. Anything else there?
No, I think that's what you were looking for, somebody to chat. So I was hoping to help you out there.
And you have helped me out, and I appreciate that. And call in anytime.
Thanks, Steele. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Alrighty, let's go to our next story, you guys. And that involves me looking at this screen. Here we go. So Jason Ward, who for some reason is actually texting me right now some silly thing that I'm going to ignore on my screen. He's got a really cool article on makingstarwars.net about how an early Emperor idea for The Empire Strikes Back may have inspired Snoke and Star Wars Rebels. A few days ago, I was looking through my copy of J.W. Rinzler's very excellent Star Wars The Blueprint. One panel in particular stood out to me after picking up this book again after about 5 years. Is this guy logging when he picks up books? Ugh. The panel shows early work on the sequence where Palpatine appears to a kneeling Darth Vader in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. What I found particularly interesting about this early version of the idea is how it may have inspired modern Star Wars, from entire sequences in the sequel trilogy's first installment to the animated series Star Wars Rebels. An idea by production designer Norman Reynolds in the late 70s may have been key to saving Ahsoka Tano's life and giving Snoke the body of a basketball player. So I will link that below, but check that out at makingstarwars.net. And what else is on the docket? I'm going to check in with 510 and see what they're about. 510, who are you and where you're calling from?
Hey, buddy, it's Dom from San Francisco. How's it going?
Hey, Dom. Is everyone from San Francisco these days or what?
Yes.
And that's why the rent's so high, yeah?
Yeah, because everybody wants to live here, I guess. But, yeah. How's it going?
I'm good, man. What are you thinking in Star Wars news today, buddy?
You know, that image from Jason's story, the thing that I was thinking it maybe had inspired also was, you know, the larger than life presence that we all thought Snoke was in Force Awakens, and the scene where Kylo and Hux are in his little throne room there, and he's, you know, so huge compared to them. It just kind of reminded me that at Lucasfilm, it seems like there's never an idea that they ever throw away. And so whether that's, you know, something like this, or something like with Rebels bringing in a bunch of old Macquarie inspiration, you know, it just seems like anything that any idea that ever comes up at Lucasfilm, they're always either going to use it or they're going to kind of just file it away and maybe revisit it later on.
Yeah, and even that whole thing with Luke projecting himself was Rian Johnson found that in the Jedi Path, or one of those sort of like non-fiction fiction books. Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
I think it was the Path. Yeah.
Well, I said the Jedi Path, Dom. I was pretty close.
I'm not trying to correct you.
If you Googled it, like if you search for it in Amazon, the book would come up.
Agreed.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. That's.
No, you're good.
It's super interesting. What do you make of all this? The whole lack of resistance stuff.
It's really puzzling, actually, because for this thing that's supposed to come out within a month or two, and you're not. I mean, maybe it's just going to be a total surprise, and it's going to be awesome, and they're just, you know, there's nothing that they want to show, and they just want to surprise us, or maybe it's something that, you know, there's a reason they haven't shown us anything yet, because they might still be tinkering, or it's just not any good. But I'm hopeful that it's gonna pleasantly surprise.
Yeah, so am I. I guess just having, you know, you're going to have Oscar Isaac and Gwendolyn Christie, so that'd be really cool to have them back in the roles. How much they're going to be in it? What's the point? We know nothing. We know absolutely nothing. It's just that image, and then there was like some like Disney media presentation in like Germany or something, where someone got a screen grab of one of the characters. That's it. It's very, very strange. Oh, this is an interesting one. Sizzle Dizzle. Sizzle Dizzle in the chat. Do you all think there were any ideas that were initially stashed away and then eventually used that the Star Wars universe could do without? Ooh. and Rashad said Zeb from Rebels, which is pretty brutal. No mercy.
Yeah.
Hey, Dom, thanks for calling in, man. Talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you later. Thanks.
Cheers, man. And Dom does a lot of show note work for us as well, so we appreciate that. Probably just going to wrap up with this final little story that tantalized me. And The Onion, if you can believe it, did a really funny story. Let me get this up over here. Where is this? Star Wars Newsnet, which is a really popular Star Wars news site. This is on The Onion. Star Wars Newsnet joins hundreds of publications in condemning Trump's attacks on the press. This popped up today at around midday. New York, heeding the call of the Boston Globe to come together in defense of the journalistic integrity of journalistic integrity, Star Wars Newsnet joined hundreds of publications Thursday in condemning President Trump's attacks on the press. I quote, "The president could not be more wrong when he calls the free press the enemy of the people, and we stand alongside our brothers and sisters in the journalism profession in condemning Mr. Trump's attacks," wrote the Star Wars Newsnet editors in a statement published on the front page of their website, adding that they stood with the New York Times, Denver Post, and MadonnaLicious.com in defense of the First Amendment. And there's a bit more there, and I'll link to that below. But that's so cool. I think that's really rad. So congratulations to all the crew at Star Wars Newsnet. I will call this a day. This is our first trial. And if you liked it, comment on YouTube, spread the word on Twitter, because the more people that watch or listen, you know how it works. I'll keep making more, you know? So thanks so much, and may that force be with you.